Hello YouTube. Um, I'm making a video. I think a lot of this was actually personal, but I'm going to share it because I believe that it was something of a type of a rapture that I experienced in the dream. And because I'm not sure, I just figured I'd share. So um, this happened October, I believe it was the 29th, and I'll read what I wrote. I had a dream. We were on vacation camping, and in the trip, I was experiencing a lot of torment. Um, I was being attacked mentally and struggling with my husband, and really trying to escape. In my head, I was looking for an escape route. I was really quite miserable at the time of this dream, right before I had the dream. And a lot of the thoughts that were pouring into my mind were I should just leave and become a missionary and do work for the kingdom, and that I didn't belong married, and I should just run away and do something else, and it had to be okay if it was for Jesus. And so that's kind of mentally where I was before I had this dream. And so that night I dreamt I was riding in a car that looked like a paddle boat, and everything was water. And so I was paddling to work in this paddle boat. And on the way there, I saw a city skyline across the way, and the city itself looked painted. It was almost too beautiful and too perfect. And the sky was really what struck me as strange. It was perfectly symmetrical. All the clouds were symmetrical. Everything was almost like stamped. Um, you had identical clouds pieced on the sky, and I just knew in my being that it was fake, that there was something phony about it. And anyways, I went to do work, whatever my work thing was, and it was this building, and I had some old high school friends there. And I was playing something like a matchmaker, where I was matching friends up, together, girl and guy, from high school. Anyways, I get back in my car and I have to go home to work. Go home, and this time I see the city again, but the clouds were slightly different, but they were still exactly like stamps of themselves. They were exactly the same identical clouds in the sky. I'm going, that is so weird. There's something weird and unnatural about that city. It looks too perfect, like a utopia. And so I'm paddling back towards home. I make a left to go to my house. And it was actually not my house, it was my mom's house and my parents' house. And I make a left and I start noticing the water is weird. And I'm like, this is fake water. And as I'm paddling, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, that fake city has fake water coming into our town. This is not good. I make it into the house. I tell my mom, Mom, that city's water over there is starting to creep into our town. This is not good. She's like, yeah, okay. Well, just so you know, your dad and I are making preparations to move, which is something they've actually in real life been talking about, and they can't really decide on whether or not they will. But in the dream, they're like, we're going to move soon. We're going to be moving soon. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I go and stand at their kitchen sink and look out the window. They have a window at their kitchen sink that looks outside. And all of a sudden, I have this sense of freedom overwhelm me. Like the weight of my sin and the burden of my sin just completely removed, and just total spiritual freedom came over me. And I've experienced this a few times, so I knew exactly what that was in my dream. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we shoot up through the sky into space, and I almost hit. In fact, I exclaimed as we're getting shot through space, "Whoa!" I almost hit a satellite. Um, and I thought to myself, as I was flying through the sky in like a split second, I'm thinking, this feels really dangerous and crazy. And even though I didn't feel fear, I didn't feel any sense of fear or danger, but that was the thought that I had. My immediate, like, carnal thought was like, that was dangerous and crazy. I almost hit a satellite. And then I woke up. And anyway, so kind of upon reflection, I know what some of the dream meant. That utopia was my idea of this far off land that if I just run away, things will be so much better. And that was a lie. It was false. And that lie was creeping into um, uh, my territory, truth. And then, of course, freedom was what I was looking for, a spiritual freedom from the weight of sin. And I received it in my own home. It was actually my mom's home, um, but still, it was within familiar territory and a space I'm in right now. I don't need to go or do anything different. I can receive that freedom here and now. But then shooting through the sky, and of course, my parents saying they're going home or they're going to move was kind of cool. It was like, oh, we're moving homes. Yes, we certainly will be. Um, we're not going to be here for much longer. Those that are in Christ are going to be moving on up to their new home. And then we shot through the sky, and we almost hit a satellite. And I know that I said that out loud so that I would remember it when I woke up. That I was clearly going through space. This was not, up in the atmosphere. It was outside of the atmosphere. So, anyways, I just wanted to share my dream. I don't know if it's useful for anybody or anything, but I just feel led to start sharing more. So, God bless. Thanks.